Welcome in to the recap. New York Knicks, man, looking at the playoffs. We'll look at the picture and the standings, but Indiana, man, 14 straight losses, man. The longest losing streak in franchise history. Don't it feel good to put the beat down on Indiana, regardless of who shows up, right? There was no Nemhard in this one and no Siakam. Obviously, Halliburton out, but they had Neesmith, they had Shepard, Obi, and our New York Knicks, man, with no Jalen Brunson taking a rest, right? I don't think it's a serious issue, but I do think obviously they're playing it smart, man. With what 12 games left now, man, the playoffs are creeping up, so close, right? I can taste it, I can smell it. I'm hungry for the playoffs, and thankfully we got through this game, no injuries. That's the most important thing, in my opinion. But ladies and gentlemen, Jordan Clarkson continues to be a major part of the rotation. We'll talk about Mike Brown's quotes, right? Because he did basically admit he's preferring to give Clarkson a look over Muhammad Diawara, right? So that's a major talking point. We do have a huge update for y'all on Deuce McBride because Deuce is taking contact, practicing, and it looks like, man, he is so close to returning, which is great news. But 10 dimes from Jose Alvarado, right? I know those that talk about Brunson ball dominance, they would have loved this one because 38 dimes. The Knicks were swarming on defense. They forced, 17 turnovers. Both teams shot well in this one as Tyler Kolek got minutes off the bench to back up Alvarado. Ladies and gentlemen, our New York Knicks, right? Those losses in LA on the West Coast trip are a distant memory because the New York Knicks have recovered. Obviously, Utah, Indiana, Golden State in Indiana again, right? That ain't the tough competition that we want to see, but they took care of business. That's the most important thing, right? Back to OG and Cat, right? They led the way, obviously, with Hart too. 33 points for Hart. It's been a while since Hart's gotten a game ball, man. He's gotten a lot of heat. But, ladies and gentlemen, Josh Hart is going to get the game ball for his performance, setting the tone early, facilitator role, rebounding. Only had 2 turnovers, 33 points with 18 plus, right? 4 or 5 from the free throw, knocked down 5 threes, right? Not hesitating, and 12 of 13, man, right? Joins top 3 in Knicks franchise history to have 90% shooting on the field, right? With a 30 plus point performance, right? Unbelievable from Josh Hart. He deserves the game ball in this one as Jose was hype. We had Jeremy Sohan late in garbage time. We had about 4 minutes of garbage time. Muhammad Diawara got his minutes. Like I said, we'll talk about that. But noteworthy is obviously Alvarado's dimes. Kolek does what he does best with 5 dimes, right? I'll give you my thoughts on this rotation moving forward as we get closer to the playoffs, right? But just good to see guys get featured more. Obviously, that's the silver lining, if you want to say, with Brunson out. um, Diawara, I'll speak on because I do think he deserves to be in that rotation. I have somewhat of a concern about him being taken out in the Clarkson minutes, but obviously, look, ball movement was a key in this one. 38 dimes. We'll take a look at the stats. Forcing the turnovers was key against this Indiana team, right? The Knicks were up by 8 at the half, and it was basically close to a wire-to-wire victory. The first quarter was even, 34-38. The Knicks, both teams got out, shot 40% on the night from downtown, which was, a kind of game that we're used to seeing against these two teams, right? Just getting out and shooting and these guys just looking for their offense, right? 54% from the field from the Knicks, 52% Indiana. Knicks shot better from the free throw line. That was key. Look, Knicks win fast break points. I think with the extra ball movement, playing at a faster speed with Alvarado starting, Brunson not in it. Obviously, he's going to speed up the pace, second chance points. The New York Knicks won as well as points in the paint was a domination. Mitchell Robinson with his rebounding continues to cruise right now. Hopefully these guys can turn it up another gear, man, when the playoffs get here. But we want to see a complete performance. This is one of the closest games where we got that, albeit against a very, weakened, tanking, all-time low Indiana squad, man, with 14 straight losses. Right. In a way, we kind of made history because we beat Indiana and inflict their 14th straight loss on them. Obviously, we gave them their 12th straight loss as well recently in Indiana. But yeah, 38 dimes, man. What else is there more to say? Ball movement, Kolek, Alvarado, Hart, no Brunson, man. It definitely, look, we're not a better team without Brunson, but we play a different way, and it's fair to, highlight that when you got guys like Tyler, the creator, doing what he does best, man, finding Mitchell Robinson for the oop. What vision? What a player he's going to be. Hopefully, he's a lifelong Nick, and I look forward to his third season in the league next season. I think Tyler Kolek should be the backup. Uh, should be a rotation player next season. This season, look, I think he's going to be kind of a break glass case of emergency, but I just love Tyler's game. Keeps his head up. He's a true point guard. Who doesn't like to play with a pass first true point guard? Brunson isn't a true point guard. He is a good point guard. He can facilitate. Obviously, his strengths are scoring the rock when it comes to JB. But yeah, a lot of people have highlighted Mitchell Robinson's increased role on offense, especially with the dribble handoffs, facilitating more as well. Um, Still would love him to look at the hoop. When he does pull down those rebounds, you want to see Mitch take the onus to go back up strong, right? I do think Mitch's offense is something that we can tap into further, and it's something that is underrated because, he does it in the practice, does it in the highlight vids, in the gym, empty gym. But you know that Mitchell Robinson can put the ball on the deck and make plays, right? And we just want to see more of that. Uh, in terms of Mikal Bridges and Landry, man, look, the battle is heating up in terms of who's going to solidify these playoff minutes, ladies and gentlemen. So now we got 12 remaining. The Knicks, they only really need to win 7, I think, to get to 52 wins as they rack up their 45th win on the season. Look, 8 wins, 9 more wins is a possibility with just 12 to play. We'll take a look at the schedule, but yeah, look, Diawara out of the rotation. We'll talk about Mike Brown's comments right now because yeah, Alvarado, he's here to stay. He's gonna be the backup. Um, Great minutes in this one, 10 dimes. Obviously, his defense is exactly what this squad is looking for right now. Landry too, completely trusted by 2 coaches now, and leaves it all out there. Um, yeah, hopefully his shot can become more consistent. Same with Alvarado. But look, one guy here who is proving to be more consistent now with this renaissance is Jordan Clarkson. Right. Now, I have no hesitation in saying Clarkson can win us ball games, whether it be playoff, NBA Cup. He's proven it. Meaningless nights against Indiana, you name it. But when it comes to who's actually going to solidify these minutes in the playoffs, I would prefer Diawara personally. Now, I'm not going to, avoid the elephant in the room is that Diawara's play has been sliding. He's been looking like a rookie. And so when it comes to that, you got a guy like Clarkson who is kind of the opposite, different position, score first, doesn't earn his pay on defense, but on offense can really help this squad out. And like I said, he's proven it. He can win us games in the NBA Cup, right? What is our identity? Some fans still question what really is this identity. Are we going to go defense first, offense first? Well, we're top 5 in net rating, and we are top 5 offense and defense. So we can win games either way. It's going to be up to Mike Brown. He's going to have to do a lot of coaching up, whoever he goes with when it comes to the playoffs, because there's a matchup for everything. There might be a game where we need to dust off a Kolek or play Diawara over Clarkson, and vice versa. There could be those games where you need to play Clarkson over Diawara. Um, Look, a lot of it's going to depend on how deep he just goes in the playoffs. What is the matchup in round one? What's going to be the matchup in round two, round three? Um, I prefer a 9-10 man, not going to lie. Look, the ninth and 10th man don't need to play a lot, but I would like to keep them in that rotation, keep them ready and fresh. Because I think if you really want to win a championship, you look at these teams like Oklahoma last season, Boston when they won it, Milwaukee when they won it recently, um, all the recent champions. I think they went 9-10 deep. You know, you can't afford to gas out your main guys, and most of these championship teams of late have a deep squad. They can trust dudes. Look at OKC. I mean, they've got an embarrassment of riches. You got AJ Mitchell, players that don't play some nights, don't play enough. The Knicks got a lot of talent. I think it's very much matchup dependent. Look, great to see Hart obviously get the game ball bounce back in a major way. He was absolutely on fire early, but we know that ain't going to happen on the regular. Um, it's easy to play free with no Brunson on like I said, a meaningless Tuesday night against the depleted Indiana. But how's he going to look when the pressure is on with the 3-point ball? But look, credit to Hart. He really puts in the work. He's that Swiss Army knife, and will do whatever the team needs. I just question the starting five still and the consistency they've shown recently. But look, 4 wins in a row. Can't sneeze on that. Can't gloss over that. Alvarado starting to look better after a little slump. I think getting the start tonight really helped Alvarado's confidence. Hopefully, he can keep that rolling, keep it buzzing, as they say. Close to a Y-to-Y victory. Just continue to stack up these dubs, like I say. But the big story for me, basically off the court, is Deuce McBride. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a great update from Ian Begley, right? Ian Begley says that, well, Mike Brown revealed to the press in the press conference that Deuce McBride is taking contact already and is practicing. So he is not far away, ladies and gentlemen. That just means this team is just going to get even stronger with more options. So, in terms of just to tie that bow on the Diawara conversation, like he really might need a stint on the sidelines. With Deuce coming back, Clarkson, Mike Brown said he wants to give him that shot again because of the scoring, the experience he mentioned, the veteran savviness. Clarkson looks hungry, rejuvenated. Um, it is what it is, right? You can't play too many small guys, so that is somewhat of a concern for me personally, right? Well, you definitely can't play Kolek if you're going to play Alvarado and Shamit and Clarkson. But can you find some minutes for Diawara, even if it's 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes, 4 minutes a half, foul trouble, all of that? I guess Mike Brown's done a good job of telling guys to stay ready. I mean, Clarkson stayed ready. Kolek's always ready, to come in when his number's called. Hopefully Diawara can be the same thing. Because, yeah, I know a lot of y'all fam are just kind of going to be mixed. Well, probably a lot of fans just are upset because they love their rook. I love our rook and we want to see him play. But where we are right now, ladies and gentlemen, we're at the business end of, one of the most important seasons in franchise history, man. Been thinking about this the last couple of days. Um, where we're headed right now in this make or break postseason, this could shape up this make or break season, one of the most important, I think, in our franchise history. I don't think that's hyperbole, right? This is our best shot to win a championship going back, I think, to either early 90s, the championship years in the 70s, late 90s, if that. Um, we'll talk about the Tatum thing right now. We'll look at the standings. Charlotte got a big win. Um, And yeah, look, the good news is with this soft schedule, the Knicks look like they've wrapped up home court. They won't finish anything lower than fourth, right? Looks like second, real possibility, third, a possibility, first, probably out of reach, albeit mathematically. But um, we got Brooklyn, we got Washington coming up, Pelicans as well, and then a small road trip coming up. But Um, good to get, guys, an extended run. The silver lining with Brunson out, so we'll see what happens with Brunson, man, in the next one. But look, Deuce coming back, man, that is music to my ears. Now, my, wish list right now, man, is just we play like we did tonight, man. Just play, or last night, as you're watching this recap. Play with extra speed, man. Play with pace, fervor, get the ball flowing, and just get into our sets early. Uh, one thing, look, as much as I hate Indiana, as much as y'all hate Indiana, one thing I've observed over there last 2 seasons, the way they play, they push the break, right? Every single make, they push off of makes, and it just keeps you on your heels, And look, playing a deeper rotation is key. Um, I still don't feel like we're a defensive, although our defense is great, especially recently, over what, a third of the season now at least. We have an elite defense. But I just still don't feel like that's our identity. I just don't feel like this is a gritty defensive team, albeit they are effective because of, certain talent on the squad and good coaching. Shout out to the assistants as well, Brendan O'Connor as well. Um, to help us get through this tough schedule and improve our defense. But Mitchell Robinson's been huge. Shamet Alvarado's been a major pickup. But I still feel like our identity, man, if we're going to win this championship in this make or break season, it will be offense, right? We're able to hang with Spurs, OKC, um, and the way we can blow teams out, hopefully Detroit, Boston. I think defense is going to be very important, obviously, but I think offense is going to be the make or break, the swing factor, because we need to play loose, we need to play fluid, uh, swing that ball around, player movement, cutting, off ball movement as well, and just limit these turnovers. That is also very, very key when it comes to that, right? And look, OG, he's a demon, when he's getting downhill. He's playing free and loose as well. Mikal Bridges, I feel like we don't get the best of Mikal in the half court. I think when he's out in the open court, he starts to thrive. He can do his pull up mid range, get to his spots, and all of that. In the slow half court grind, Mikal Bridges is trapped in the corner for the most part, or stuck in the dribble handoff uh, situation. Trying to create separation against physical defenses. That is not his strength, right? So we see, man. Look, Deuce McBride coming back. There's going to be a whole new integration process. Deuce has been out for a good been 2.5, 3 months almost. But good to see that he's already at the point where he's at taking contact and practicing, which means he is going to play, I think, some regular season games. So we are going to get that tune up when it comes to before the playoffs begin. Obviously, we know, guys, we have that week off during the play-ins where the New York Knicks will have a rest, and that'll be a lot of practice too, which we can integrate Deuce McBride, with some extra sets and schemes, integrating him back. But his shooting, man, is the biggest skill set I think he'll bring with his defense. And I do think they're just going to steadily ramp up Deuce McBride's minutes. He'll probably start, with a lower amount of minutes, and they'll increase, as we get closer to the playoffs. And he'll probably be a 15 to 20 minute a night guy in the playoffs. Look, depending on how it's going, according to Mike Brown during the game. But let's take a look at the schedule, the standings first, and then the schedule, right? Knicks rack up their 45th win now, officially 20 games over 500, man. Nice round number. I love to see that. We're only 5 games back of first seed, right? So mathematically still possible, but the Knicks are going to have to basically win out, I think, to have a shot at winning the number one seed. But we are just a game back, ladies and gentlemen, of these Boston Celtics, hot on their heels, right? We do know we play the Celtics right now. The season series is, I think it's a split. Our season series is a split right now. So Knicks, if they beat Celtics in the final game, they'll win the season series. So that'll be key for the tiebreaker as well. We have the season series over the Cavs, and we already have a 2.5 game cushion. So that basically is a 3.5 game cushion now, fam, over the Cleveland Cavaliers, right? And then the Raptors are 5.5 back, right? So look, if the playoffs begin right now, it would be Knicks or Orlando, but obviously them and the Magic, the Hawks, there's so much in flux right now, man. The Atlanta Hawks have turned on the Jets. They are 10 wins in a row, which is crazy. Um, Obviously, trading Trae Young has helped them out a ton, right? Winning ball with their squad right now, and the East is looking like a jungle out here. Shout out to the East believers because the East is stronger than the West, man. It's deeper right now. Um, Top end talent, the Celtics, Knicks, Cavaliers, and the Pistons, and then I think it drops off the Raptors, the Hawks, Sixers, Magic, Hornets, Bucks, very inconsistent teams, but will give you a good game on their day. But I think when it comes down to it, man, the Knicks know who we are. We're a great defensive team. We're an elite offensive team. It's just all about right now putting it all together, man, at the business end. And I think it's really exciting to be a Knicks fan right now. Yes, there's some cause for some concerns and some question marks still. Obviously, Mike Brown's first postseason. We've seen Tibbs over the last few years. What is Mike Brown, you know, gonna do? How is he gonna, juggle this rotation? But some of them are good headaches. It's always better to have a lot of talent to have to choose a rotation rather than less talent. And I think Tibbs, the reason Tibbs did not play the bench too much is because the bench wasn't great last season. We got a better bench now. We've got guys that should play. Cole that could play. Diawara should play. Clarkson deserving to play now. Um, do you bench Macau? Does that end up happening? Now, Macau Bridges had a better performance. Still not anything to write home about, especially against this opponent. But you guys let us know in the comment section, man. Let us know your rotation right now. In the next live stream, we'll talk about it further, fam. So we will have a game on Friday night against Brooklyn. So definitely we'll be buzzing against Brooklyn. Post-game live stream, we'll be talking about our playoff rotations. Washington Pelicans, as the Knicks should continue this streak, right? But it's all about picking up confidence this, side of the season, right? And great to see Clarkson back in the mix. His offense is, a major part of our strength. Providing that NBA Cup, we saw that some big games earlier in the season as well. He's brought some better defense, gotten more tenacious. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, look, not a statement victory by any means, but we're racking up the dubs. They're going to continue on this soft schedule with our next game coming up. Uh, just want to confirm the Memphis game obviously has been rescheduled to 1st of April. So that'll be April Fools. So the Memphis game has been rescheduled. Our next game is the Brooklyn Nets on Friday night. So the Knicks will get a couple of days break and rest. And I do think Brunson will probably be back, but look, there's no rush. Don't even need to bring Brunson back against the New Jersey Nets, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, orange and blue skies. Shout out to Josh Hart. Great news to hear about Deuce McBride and Jose Alvarado. Good job filling in. Carl Anthony Towns and Mitchell Robinson been phenomenal lately. Don't want to gloss over their performances. Cat seems to be playing I think more free. I think the trade deadline and all of the talk about Giannis and the conflict potentially with the Mike Brown system and him not maybe not seeing eye to eye with his role within the system. He seems to fully come to terms with this role this season and seems to be locked in. So do shout out to Carl Anthony Towns, right? And I do think, look, he can make a statement when it comes to the playoffs, right? Uh, would really love a straightforward first round, 4, 5 games at the most. Hopefully, we can get the Raptors or the Magic or the Heat, push them aside, even Philadelphia, or we could even face Charlotte, fam. Could be a 4, 5 game series. That'll save us a lot of legs, right? So that is going to be a key thing to look out for as well. Deeper rotation, too, is a key for me. But OG Anunoby looks to be playing really strong and fresh too. He's ready for a big postseason. Um, and this is a blueprint. Brunson's watching this tonight on the sidelines with this performance from his squad. And he's probably thinking, look, I could probably fit in better ways to get guys going, hopefully. But yeah, we obviously didn't even need Brunson's offensive game in this one, right? So we'll see you live post game, fam. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. Appreciate you. Orange and blue. That's what we do. Peace.